こんにちは、ゆうこ先生です。Today we are going to learn how to give advice not to do something in Japanese. This grammar is covered in GENKI Volume 1 and みんなの日本語初級2. So if you happen to have these books, please refer to these lessons. Today's lesson is a continuation of the previous lesson about how to advise people to do something.You can find a link to the lesson in the Shoma section below. To better understand today's lesson, please watch the previous lesson too. では、始めましょう。Previously, you have learned how to say it's better for you to do 他 form 方がいいですよ。Now, let's learn how to say it's better for you not to do. We still use方がいいですよ in today's expression, just like in the previous lesson. The only thing you have to change is the form of the verb. Now we are going to use the ない form here. That's the only difference. So for today's expression, you have to come up with the ない form for the action that you suggest not to do.Okay, let's practice to give advice in the negative form as in, you'd better not to. Here's the same situation that we have used in the previous lesson. Your friend is feeling sick and she has a fever. In the previous lesson, we suggested her to do these things. Now, let's tell her not to do some things because she's sick today. For instance, instead of telling her to take a break from work, you can also tell her not to go to work, right? Let's do that. Now you need a ない form of the verb go, 行く, which is 行かない. So this advice, you'd better not go to work, is going to be like this in Japanese. 仕事に行かない方がいいですよ。仕事に行かない方がいいですよ。Another advice that we often give to someone who is sick. This might be something particular in Japanese culture. We believe we need to keep our body warm for it to function properly. So we would say, you'd better not cool your body. 体を冷やさない方がいいですよ。体を冷やさない方がいいですよ。体を冷やす means to cool your body system by consuming cold drinks or foods or not covering your body enough. You can use this verb 冷やす to cool anything. For instance, cool the head is 頭を冷やす。頭を冷やす。This can literally means to bring the temperature down or to calm your mind and try to be rational. If you use ice to bring the temperature down on your head, then you can add by means of ice 氷で to the phrase and go like this. 氷で頭を冷やす。氷で頭を冷やす。Of course, you can also use 冷やす to cool things other than your body parts. To say, cool the beer in the fridge, for example, you can say, 冷蔵庫でビールを冷やす。冷蔵庫でビールを冷やす。Okay, let's continue with the advice. Another thing you can suggest is not to overdo herself or not to push herself too hard. Overdo yourself in Japanese is 無理をする。無理をする。You can use this expression to anyone that you care about, okay? The person doesn't have to be sick. When you feel the person is stressed out or working too much, then you can say, you'd better not to overdo yourself. 無理をしない方がいいですよ。無理をしない方がいいですよ。You can also combine two suggestions, don't and do, like this. 仕事に行かないで家に帰った方がいいですよ。仕事に行かないで家に帰った方がいいですよ。When you add で to the ない form as we did here, it means something like being in the state of not doing it. So this sentence means you'd better go home without going to work. Okay, as we learned in the previous lesson, if you want to sound more relaxed and less meddling in your advice, you can add I think, 思います。Let's practice that version now. As you already know, to add I think to your advice, all you have to do is to add と思います at the end like this. So these suggestions that we have constructed so far are going to be like this with 思います。体を冷やさない方がいいと思いますよ。仕事に行かない方がいいと思いますよ。無理をしない方がいいと思いますよ。And if you want to convert these sentences to informal speech, change 思います to 思う and drop the particle or if you want. 体冷やさない方がいいと思うよ。仕事に行かない方がいいと思うよ。無理しない方がいいと思うよ。Okay, here's another situation. Your friend says, 日本語が上手になりたいです。上手になる means to become skilled or good at something. So here, he's saying he wants to become good at Japanese. What would you advise him not to do? Here is one suggestion from me. ローマ字を使わない方がいいと思いますよ。ローマ字を使わない方がいいと思いますよ。I think you'd better not use ローマ字。You can also expand this advice like this. ローマ字を使わないで without using ローマ字。かなと漢字で by means of かな and 漢字。日本語を勉強した方がいいと思いますよ。I think you'd better study Japanese. ローマ字を使わないで、かなと漢字で日本語を勉強した方がいいと思いますよ。You can also suggest him not to do something like this. できるだけ英語で話さない方がいいと思いますよ。できるだけ英語で話さない方がいいと思いますよ。Do you understand the meaning of this advice? そうですね。This sentence means, I think you'd better not speak in English as much as possible. できるだけ英語で話さない方がいいと思いますよ。 Okay, can you do this now? By using the sentence we just covered, can you construct this advice by yourself? I think you'd better speak with your Japanese friends in Japanese and not speak in English as much as possible. I know it's a long sentence, so feel free to pause the video here and give yourself as much time as you need to think about this. Okay, here's how you phrase this sentence. 日本人の友達と日本語で話してできるだけ英語で話さない方がいいと思いますよ。日本人の友達と日本語で話してできるだけ英語で話さない方がいいと思いますよ。And of course, to change this sentence to informal speech, you only need to change the ending 思います to 思う。日本人の友達と日本語で話して、できるだけ英語で話さない方がいいと思うよ。日本人の友達と日本語で話して、できるだけ英語で話さない方がいいと思うよ。よくできました。Now you know how to give advice to people to do something or not to do something in Japanese. では、質問です。Okay, here's a question for you. Let's say this is your Japanese friend and she just had a big fight with her husband, 旦那さん, because he totally forgot about the anniversary. She says they haven't communicated whatsoever for a few days. What would you tell her by using ほうがいいですよ? I'll give you some useful expressions that you can use here, okay? If you want, you can leave your own advice for her in the comment area. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. This was a sample lesson from my course number 6, Plain Form and Everyday Japanese. You can access this course along with other courses by joining Smile Nihongo Learning Pass. This subscription plan gives you access to my entire library of lessons, quizzes, PDFs, and MP3s for a low monthly fee. It offers a flexible way to continue your Japanese learning journey. There are starter paths for complete beginners and pro paths for more advanced learners. The curriculum for each path is in the description below for you to download. To learn more about our Learning Path program, please visit smilenihongo.com/learningpath. You can find the link on the screen or in the description. I look forward to having you as my student. ではまた次のレッスンで会いましょう。